Italy dominates against Turkey.
Let's take a look at the player ratings.
Good morning and welcome to the Pink Table. Italy kicked us off with the Euro last night. Great result. It looked like we just played for one half. I think the first half was getting used to being in the team again, getting the excitement out of the system. But come the second half, we performed extremely well. We're going to go over the player ratings of last night. So let's just kick it off with Gigio Donnarumma, Elaine.
Yeah, so Gigio Donnarumma looked good in goals. He wasn't tested very much. The Italian defense looked solid. Gigio Donnarumma, 6.5.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think he did one or two saves. But the one thing I did notice last night, I don't know what he's been doing over the summer, but he seems like he's getting quite muscular, quite big. I think being at 21, I would say in 3 years' time, it's unfortunate that he's going to be leaving Italy. It looks like he's going to the Paris Saint-Germain, but I think he's going to be an amazing goal. Like, he hasn't even reached his full potential there. News out of that quickly while we move on is that he's also looks to be going to Roma, is the news out today, for a year loan. So you can see that. Okay, moving on. Bonucci got a solid 6.5.
Yeah, Bonucci looked good during the game, pairing up with his team partner from Juventus in the central defense, and he looked absolutely solid. Moving on to Giorgio Chiellini. Chiellini, arguably the man of the match for the Italian defense, with a 7.5.
Yeah, I think the difference between Chiellini and Bonucci was definitely shown in the aerial battles. The Turkish strikers weren't able to get to the ball when the ball was in there next to Chiellini. Hopefully, he can keep up the form throughout the whole tournament. Spinazzola. So Spinazzola pairs top of the table, well, top of the list with us, with also the best on the field. Spinazzola gets a good 8. Good showing from the Roma man.
Yeah, Spinazzola was devastating down the left flank. He had the Turkish defense constantly worrying. And when he made his way through to the box, provided 2 shots on target and was instrumental in breaking the stalemate of 0-0. Moving on to Alessandro Florenzi. Florenzi had a good first half an hour to the game, but then started losing some speed. We give Alessandro Florenzi a 6 for this game.
Yeah, I think that's fair. As you said, I think he was also taken off at halftime. Apparently that was not even injury related. So Di Lorenzo definitely did add something there. So let's move up to the midfield. We have Barella, which out of our midfielders, I'd probably say he performed not at his peak, but we give him a good 6.5, and hopefully it's just downhill from here.
Yeah, the little man from Sardinia was a motor in the game last night, but was definitely not as instrumental as he usually is.
Yeah, so we said 6.5. I gave the score, hey?
Yeah, correct. You did. Moving on, we've got European champion, Champions League champion, Jorginho, and we give Jorginho a 7.
Yeah, I think Jorginho was orchestrating the midfield quite well. I think Turkey condensed the midfield quite a lot, so we used our flanks a lot more. So our midfielders were just providing a lot of covering. The good thing is pressing high, getting the ball back soon. I was very impressed with the midfield, even though they weren't instrumental to the game. Moving on to another midfielder, Locatelli. We give him a 7. I would say a bit of a shaky start in the beginning there, but overall he grew throughout the game.
Yeah, you could see that the young Sassuolo man was nervous, but he did grow into the game. And rumors out of Turin this morning that Juventus is readying a 40 million euro offer for the young man.
Which 40 million is a lot for, like, he's a great player, but 40 million prices these days are just becoming out of control.
Next up on the list is Italy's centre forward, Ciro Immobile. He had a good game, a bit slow to get into it, got a goal in the end, and yeah, good start to the tournament for the young man.
Yeah, well, young, not so young, but I think I wouldn't say it took him slow to get into it. I think the service was pretty poor in the first half, and the Turkish defense were marking quite well. I think when the Turkish defense kind of slowed down towards there and allowing more space for Berardi and Insigne, Immobile was able to find those little spaces to make his time count. Moving on to Insigne, we give him a good 7.5. there was sometimes that there were good Insigne moments. Also in the first half, I think he could have unlocked the score when he had a clear Insigne's chance. Like the ball was where Insigne loves to have the ball, but it just took him a while to get going as well. It seems like it's a general theme over Italy last night.
Yeah, a couple of key moments that you thought Insigne was going to put the ball in the back of the net. He eventually did in typical Insigne style. Good start to the tournament. Now let's take a look at the other player that we gave an 8 rating to, our other man of the match, Domenico Berardi from Sassuolo. He was instrumental in attacking the Turkish defense down the right, was a continual hassle to them, and was instrumental in breaking them down.
Yeah, I think this is a win from Roberto Mancini. Berardi also starting the action to get us the first own goal they got in. But yeah, good trust given to the man from Mancini, and he kind of paid that off. So it's quite positive. We'll quickly look at the bench players now as well. So we brought in Di Lorenzo halftime for Florenzi. I think he performed much better than Florenzi. Straight away off the bat, he just gave a lot more energy to the side. We'll give him a good 6.5.
I was really impressed with Di Lorenzo when he came in. I thought Florenzi did well early on in the first half, but Di Lorenzo was clearly an upgrade. Moving on, we've got Brian Cristante of Roma, came on towards the end of the second half, helped add a bit of physicality to the midfield and keep the Turks away from the Italian box.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason Mancini decided to put him on. Also, just to give us a bit more height there, just for offset pieces, just to not get one goal. And then moving on to Belotti. So Belotti came on a bit late in the game. We'll give him a no vote, just because he didn't have any chance to express or put himself out there. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, and finally...
the other player to come on with Belotti was Chiesa, who also added a bit of hustle to the attack, but with too little time to make an impact, we don't give him a vote.
Yeah, and then overall, we give the coach, Roberto Mancini, a good 8. I think he did quite well. Also with the team he put forward, putting faith in Berardi as well. Also Spinazzola was a good team for Turkey. We just needed to hold them off for the first half and then slowly break them down. So overall, good result.
Yeah, great result. And just like with Roberto Mancini, we give the Azzurri side a big fat 8 for their opening game in Euro 2020. Stay tuned with the Pink Table for more matchday results as we move through this tournament.